Hi, I'm Stuart from Amtek Plastics. I'm the Managing Director here, and Amtek Plastics manufacture bespoke plastic components for other businesses that build their own products. We supply to mainly to other businesses and occasionally to private inventors who design products or come to us with a product idea that they want to manufacture. Okay, so why did I take on an Action Coach? I took on an Action Coach because I got the business to a point where whilst I was making some profit, the whole business revolved around me, and I was working maybe 70 hours a week, basically spinning all the plates. And I felt that it got to the point where I could afford to invest in myself, to train myself, to learn how to develop a business better, and ultimately run without me effectively. So what are the benefits being to the business and to myself? I think that the benefits to the business certainly are that now I focus on growing the business and developing it and improving it, rather than the firefighting attitude that I had before we started this. The benefits of having a coach personally are that I've now got a stage of targets and plans personally that I want to achieve and that I want to achieve within the business, and that's a massive change for me. It sounds obvious and it sounds like something everyone should do, but many people don't, and having a coach forces you to do these things and to make sure that you follow the course that you've planned and plotted. So how has the growth been experienced? Well, I've been working with Action Coach now for around 18 months, and our growth has almost doubled in that time. Our turnover has almost doubled in that time. We've also spent time looking at profitability and improving that as well, and improving our systems to help cope with the increased growth. All right, what's the most significant impact that we felt? And for me, it's been on a personal level, whereby I've spent more time developing myself as a better manager and a better leader and a better company owner. And for me, that's been very significant. I spent many years working very hard to build the business to a certain point, and in the last 18 months, I've achieved far more than I did in those previous years. In fact, you know, in 12 to 18 months, we've more or less doubled what we've been doing now, which is very significant for the business. But as I say, from a personal level, I felt that's where the biggest impact has been. And now I've got someone who every week we talk about where we're taking the business and how we're actually achieving the goals that we've set for it, how the growth is being measured, and whether or not we're on target. And it's a very significant sort of notion to be doing this regularly and into the future. So what would you say to anyone who thinks they need coaching? Well, for me, I would say that every business owner really should consider having a business coach, because without that, you don't have that other person and that other system to plot and drive your business forward and perhaps your personal goals forward. And for me, working with Action Coach is more than just having a coach. You have the whole organisation behind you, and the effects of that are that it's got a history, it's got a background of achieving growth in business. And so, as I say, it's more than just having a business coach. The organisation itself is almost like a club. We've been to some of the Growth Club sessions, to the Business Excellence Forum run by Action Coach, and you get the feeling of a community of both business owners and the coaches as well. And I think that's quite an invaluable and fairly unique situation that business owners can take advantage of. And I've certainly enjoyed being at the business forums, found them very, very useful. Enjoyed listening to Brad and have learnt a lot from the speeches from the speakers there. And as I say, being able to talk to lots of other business owners that all share the same experiences that you do brings a lot. You walk away with it with a lot of useful stuff that you can then use in your business. Also, seeing the success stories that ActionCOACH has achieved with other businesses is hugely motivating. and I would say that anyone who's serious about running a successful business and wanting to achieve things in the future, even personally, should seriously consider it. Is it a worthwhile investment? Well, I think it is an investment, and as an investment, to get the best out of it, you need to take it very seriously and make sure you are getting the best out of it. One of the things with taking on a coach is that there is a certain amount of perturbation there, so it doesn't instantly make life easier, and actually, in actual fact, it increases your workload initially, because suddenly you have all these things that you need to start implementing and putting in place, and suddenly there's a lot of pressure to do lots of different things and change your whole attitude to the way you run the business, and that's difficult. That's very difficult. And so I think it's important that there is a cost involved, because when there's a cost involved, the higher that cost, the more seriously you take it, and the more you should try and get something out of it. Okay, so I guess to summarise, I'd say that the whole journey with ActionCOACH and with Steve has been one from starting from working just as a technician in the business and working very hard to bring it to a point where now I can see the business growing without my input, and ultimately being able to operate without me completely. That's something that just 18 months ago I didn't really think was possible, and thought was perhaps beyond what I could achieve. And now it's given me the incentive, the motivation to believe that I can achieve a lot more, and believe that the business can achieve a lot more. So yeah, certainly as a final word, I would say that anyone wanting to grow their business really should consider ActionCOACH, and Steve's your man.